Number 25, gum wrapper fire starter. This is a great way if you've ever had a bad situation and need a quick fire. You'll need a AA battery, a foil gum wrapper, and maybe some gloves for added safety. To get the most out of your wrapper too, cut it in thirds lengthwise. Then cut your wrapper into an hourglass shape, but not too thick where nothing will happen, or too thin where it will burn away. Then place the foil part below the battery and on top of it, and it should last long enough to get a wood fire going if you need to. Number 24, fireworks in a jar. For this experiment, you'll first need a glass filled with 3/4 of the way with warm water, then mix enough oil to fill in a separate container with colors that are different with food coloring and pour it into the glass of water. Now, watch the magic happen. Number 23, change the color of your flowers. Flowers are dying? Well, liven up their last moments with some color and let them go out with a bang. Simply mix some food coloring of your choice in water and pour it into the flower vase like normal. Within a few hours, you'll begin to notice a beautiful change in color. Number 22, instant ice. Here's a simple way to get a nice cool water on a hot day. Take a water bottle and put it in your freezer for about 2 hours and 45 minutes, just before it would freeze into ice. Times can vary though for different freezers. At this point, the water is well below freezing and just needs some little bit of help. So with a nice tap, and there you have it. You can also gently pour it into a glass and drop a piece of ice into it with the same results. You can also do this same trick with soda for a delicious, awesome result. Number 21, elephant toothpaste. Not literally. What you'll need to do for this experiment is pour 10% hydrogen peroxide, because this is a safe version, into a flask with a little bit of dish soap and coloring of your choice. Then in a separate container, mix yeast with warm water. Pour it into the flask and you've got yourself toothpaste for a lifetime. Number 20, firebending. Finally, my dreams of joining the Fire Nation have finally come true. But on a real note, this one is extremely simple. For those of you who don't know, hand sanitizer is pretty flammable, and just by lighting it, again, be safe, don't actually try this, it will cause fire. But it's actually reasonably safe to grab and hold, just not for too long of course, and keep your hands in motion in to help. And also, again, as a side note, please, if you do try this, make sure you have parental guidance and you're safe about it. Number 19, glass candy. Here's how to make a delicious peppermint candy. What you'll need is baking spray, 2 cups sugar, 3/4 cup of corn syrup, ½ cup of water, and 2 tablespoons of peppermint extract, but really you can use any clear extract you like. But blue food coloring is pretty awesome. I would suggest blue, it's my favorite color. But anyways, cover up a tray in aluminum foil, next fill a heated pot with your sugar, corn syrup, and water until it's all liquefied at around 285 degrees. Also make sure no sugar is on the side of the pot for the best results. Once boiled, add your peppermint extract and drop of food coloring and stir until you get a nice color. Finally, add the baking spray to your aluminum sheet and pour your concoction in, and then let it sit for about 30 minutes to harden. Break it however you wish. Number 18, fire snake. First mix 10 grams baking soda to 40 grams sugar. In a bowl, fill it with sand and pour lighter fluid into it. Pour the baking soda and sugar mix over it and light it up however you can. Honestly, it's wild and it just keeps growing. Number 17, levitation. What is this sorcery? Oh, just science and a little bit of luck. Okay, so if you have access to an air compressor gun, all you need to do is direct the air compressor just to whatever object you're using, in this case a screwdriver, and just try to find the right angle where it will float. It's simple, but it's also difficult, so on that note, good luck. Number 16, noodle rocket. First you'll need like a small little mason jar and poke a hole into the lid that's about the size of the hole in your noodle, not the entire noodle, just the hole of it. In the small jar, fill about 1/4 of it with hydrogen peroxide and ½ teaspoon with dry yeast, and try to tighten the lid by pressing on it. Shake it up to get the reaction started, place your noodle on the lid and light it up. Now you have a miniature rocket engine. Number 15, turn water into wine. For this experiment, you'll need 2 glasses that are the same, wine, water, and something thin like a card or plastic layer. Fill both glasses at the top, one with water and one with wine, and place your card over the glass of water. Apply pressure, sort of, to get a little vacuum seal and place the glass of water above the wine. Then gently pull the card until there's a small enough gap for the liquid to seep out. Eventually, the wine will fully replace the water. Number 14, walking on eggs. Okay, so this is extremely wasteful, but pretty cool. Lay out however many cartons of eggs you wish in a path that you can walk on, but make sure they aren't cracked because, you know, some grocery stores are a little bit snake like that. Then go ahead and walk on them. This is possible because it's very, very difficult to crack an egg on its edges, and having a lot of them also helps. It also helps to distribute your weight more. The cartons, of course, they play a part in this too. Number 13, Crystal ball. First mix together about 3 parts water to 1 part dish soap to make a bubble solution. Then in a bowl, pour enough warm water to get an inch of height. Using a heavy-duty glove, which is important, place 2 to 3 pieces of dry ice into the bowl of water. Then dip your fingers into the bubble solution, wrapping it around the rim of your bowl to make sure not to let any fall in. Next, run a piece of long cotton fabric into a bubble solution and run your fingers through it to remove any excess solution. Finally, run the cloth across the bowl to create the thin bubble layer. Then the dry ice will cause the bubble to grow and look like a beautiful crystal ball. Number 12. Exploding lunch bag. Start by filling up a Ziploc bag with half a cup of warm water and half a cup with vinegar. Then add some baking soda to a tissue. Make sure to wrap it up so none of it gets out of the bag right away. Now while holding your tissue, seal the bag up nice and tight and let the tissue drop. Boom! Science, baby. Number 11. It can walk. Here's another trick that you can do with static electricity. Rub a balloon on your hair or a towel and you can manipulate a can into rolling whichever way you want. Number 10. Rainbow paper. For this we'll need a piece of black paper. In a room with decent lighting, drop it on a container filled with water and use an eyedropper or something to slowly pour in drops of clear fingernail polish. Once the nail polish has dried after a few minutes, pull out your paper and remove any water. Set it down on somewhere like newspaper to let the whole thing dry. Number 9. Suck an egg. For this experiment, you'll first need a flask, glass, or container that's thinner than the egg at the top. Make sure your egg is hard-boiled, by the way. Come on, we're not magicians. Next, set a piece of paper on fire and place it into your container. Place the egg onto the neck of your container and watch what happens. If you want the egg to come out again, just blow some air into it, and voila. Number 8. Lava lamp. This one's actually lit. First you'll need to fill a glass with 1 cup water that you mix with coloring, in this case obviously red. Then add 3 cups of oil into the glass gently so that it doesn't mix. Let it settle, then drop in either an effervescence tablet or Alka-Seltzer. Number 7. Invisible bottle. To do this experiment you'll need a glass, a smaller bottle, and glycerin. Fill the glass with a reasonable amount of glycerin, then pour the rest into a bottle until it's close to the same height. Very carefully place the bottle into the glass and boom, you can't see it anymore. This is because glycerin refracts or bends light, making it very difficult to see the bottle. Number 6. Lemon volcano. First you'll want to cut a lemon in half, and in one half drip any desired food colorings onto the lemon and mix it in. Then add a spoon of baking soda and mix that in as well. For a stronger reaction, squeeze the other piece of lemon over it. Number 5. Bouncing bubbles. In a cup, mix 3 parts water and 1 part dish soap. Then you use something to make a bubble, like a wand, or maybe you can even use your hand to make a circle with your fingers, then simply blow your bubble over your hand with the cotton gloves on. You're a bubble bender now, apparently. Number 4. Invisible ink. First, cut a lemon in half, then use either paintbrush or toothpick to take a bit of lemon juice at a time and write your message out on a piece of paper. Then use a source of light and heat, maybe a candle, and run your paper over it to easily reveal the message. Number 3. Liquid layering. So you know the saying blood is thicker than water? Well, it's true of course, but to the point that some liquids have higher densities than others, which you'll see here. What you can use is an empty bottle, something tall, a measuring cup, dark corn syrup, dish soap, water, vegetable oil, rubbing alcohol, and food coloring to mix with alcohol. Measure how much your bottle can hold by ounces or millimeters and divide by 5 because of our 5 liquids. Then pour each one in carefully into the bottle in the way we listed, so corn syrup first and alcohol last. Looks pretty cool, right? Number 2. Water bending. For this you'll need running water, either from the tap or you can have a bottle of water with a hole in it. Either way, just have the water running gently. Next, you can either use a PVC pipe and a towel or just run a comb through your hair, but we're trying to get a static charge here. Then just play around with your pipe or comb near the running water and you can control which way the direction pours. It's actually really awesome to watch. And finally, number 1. Optical illusion. This one next will test your drawing skills. Kind of, but yeah, they will. First, draw out 2 separate drawings that could go together, if drawn on the same page, like a fish in a bowl. Cut out both drawings on 2 separate pieces of paper and tape them around a pencil. If you spin the pencil fast enough, it'll look as if the fish are in the bowl. This happens because your eye can only see images at a certain speed. And with that being said and done, that concludes 25 craziest science experiments you can do at home. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for better content to come in the future. On screen now is going to be different annotations to different videos, so if you've enjoyed this one, go ahead and check those out, you'll enjoy them too. But before you do that, check the description down below. At the bottom is going to be a link to a good foundation for a good cause, so Just check that out and have yourselves a wonderful, safe, and awesome day.